The military has come out to call out Raila for the statement that he made that that he saved Ruto from a military coup. That was a very, very, very dangerous and reckless statement to make. And now the military has come out to respond, and we will just want to look at why did Raila make this statement, and how does it look to Ruto, to his government and everything. Those are the things we are going to look here, and we are going to try and bring out and discuss. So if you are new to this platform and you are coming here for the first time, kindly take a second, just a second, to subscribe and to hit the notification bell, so that anytime I'll post a video, you'll always be the first to watch. Okay, my name is the African Updater, and what we do here, kazi yetu inakuanga tu kuchambua siasa. We analyze politics the best way we know it, and the best way we can. We are not, as I always say, I'm not always right and I'm not always wrong. Same to you. You are not always right, you are not always wrong. So hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, na kama kawaida, I'll be back. Yes guys, thank you so much for those who have subscribed. I really appreciate. So guys, as I said, the military came out to respond, and some of the nini ndio hizi hapa, you can see this screenshot. Yes, so that was the response. Raila, in a public engagement somewhere, he went out and said that he saved Ruto from a military coup after the Gen Z's protest and everything. Now, I want us to look at all this. I want us to look at it this way. You remember how this thing has metamorphosized from whatever, how it has kept on changing. Initially, it was Gachagua was the one sponsoring the Gen Z's demonstration. That one didn't work. Then they picked another thing. Oh, it is the outsiders, the international organization trying to fund these Gen Z's. That one didn't work. Now they are coming out with another thing that, oh, it is now the military were trying to play part of Nini. That one is it's a flat lie and everything. Now Raila is coming out to say that he saved Ruto from a military coup. Does Raila know something that we don't know? Maybe yes, maybe not. But the military come out to call him out for that. So let's try and look at all the possibilities. If the military wanted to stage a coup, could it have been difficult for them? No. They could have done it successfully, because nothing could have stopped them. That is the reality. So that statement, for me, in my own assessment, that is wrong, and it was very reckless of Raila to make such a statement. Because the military, even when they came out, they never fought with anyone. They just walipiga tu malap tao, alafu wakarudi kwa camp zao. They never fought with anyone. They never attacked. So if they wanted to do a coup, they could have done it. Nothing could have stopped them, because they have all the resources, they have all the power to do that. So that is out of the picture. And why would Raila make such a reckless statement? Because for me, I call it a reckless statement. I think sometimes we take Raila sometimes oversteps his influence. Sometimes he thinks he's so powerful that he can make any statement and go away with it, which is very, very dangerous. Sometimes people need to make a Raila understand that, hey, you're just a Kenyan like any other, and you need to make sure that whatever you say, you stick with it. You doesn't go overboard, because that is like going really overboard, and it is very, very wrong. Another thing is the truth of the matter. From my own assessment, the truth of the matter is that no one, even the president, were caught flat foot on the Gen Z's demonstration. And the truth of the matter is that this thing was not funded by anybody. This was just people who felt like they are that they are not happy, and they decided to come out to express themselves. Like, this thing was not funded by anybody. Me, I know very well, if someone would have funded this thing, especially the way they were saying it's Gachagua could not have been here again. If you understand politics and how it works, Gachagua angekuwa anywhere in the picture. Wamekuwa angeshare deal na yeye kitambo. The truth of the matter is that they were accusing Gachagua, but they don't have evidence that he was involved. And the truth of the matter is, from the reality on the ground and the way you can see things and everything, the truth of the matter, because you can remember even Duale once came out and said, oh, he was the Gachagua was the one funding this thing, that it was discussed even in, and he was asked a very simple question. If Gachagua was used to sit in the Security Council with the president, with all these people, and all of you came and found out that he was the one involved, why have you not pressed any charges? Why have you not called him for questioning? And then he ended up saying, oh, the investigation are still going on. So if the investigation are still going on, how have you umekujaje to a conclusion that he was part of it, that he was the one funding, if the investigation was still going on? You people, maybe lazima niwachanue kidogo about politics. In politics, always find someone to blame whenever you are caught out. Unaelewa? Always find someone to blame. That is what this government did. This government decided that now we are tunaenda kukufa na Gachagua. Gachagua is the one who nini. So you blame him not because you are going to take any action, but simply to make sure that at least the public doesn't see like it is something like that, like you are not in control. You get? So that is how it works in politics. So they just decided to put the blame on Gachagua, not knowing very well they have no evidence, they have nothing. Because if they had evidence, that is a treasonous offense. That is something that you can be killed, you can be sentenced for life, or you can be hanged for it. You get? Because doing a coup is not something that is taken lightly in any country. So that was a desperate attempt to try and pin Gachagua and to put the blame on Gachagua and everything. So once that didn't work, now they went to other things, and once everything, they had exhausted all avenues of trying to look at who is funding this, who is coming up with this, and that's why now they had to approach Raila and to do that handshake and everything, so that things can a bit cool down. You get? So that is what was happening. But that statement by Raila, I don't think is factual. I don't think it's true, because I believe if the military had such a plan, nothing could have stopped them. Not even the Gen Zs, not even the everything. And why would they need the Gen Zs to engineer military coup? Now, how does this look on Ruto's government and Ruto's presidency? It doesn't look good on his presidency, because we have had so many presidents, and the only time there was an attempted coup was in 1982. That time I was not even born, so I can't speak so much about it. It's always there in the history books. It's something that we read about. But we have seen Kibaki being the president. You know, Kibaki being the president, you hatukuwa unamuona akiinteract na military. This was a man who was just busy doing his half. And the military in Kenya, they have always been stayed on their lane. They have never interfered with politics in Kenya in whatever shape or form. Ni wale watu wamekuwa kwa lane yao, they have been doing their whatever. You would never see them interfere with Kenyan politics, with politicians, or in any shape or form. So we have seen that Kibaki was a president who never interfered with the military. Hata huko unamuona kwa shughuli za military that much. Unless when there is a passing out and everything, that's when you could see him. But these other places, and then chest stamping and saying, oh, Siju is the commander-in-chief, that thing never happened with Kibaki. Even when Uhuru came into power, Uhuru never had that. In fact, his relationship with the military was that of, he used to love them. You could see how he used to interact with them, to be fun, and Uhuru was a fun president. The military loved him because he was someone who was approachable, he was someone who could pick to and then there's that mutual respect whereby he used to give the military, there was that boundary, he would interact with them, but there was boundary. Hakuna mali ungempata his chest stamping, saying all these things, even wearing the military regalia. I think he's the only president in Kenya who has worn the military regalia in all shape and form. And he has always been taken, he has been loved for that and everything. So the military in Kenya has always been respectful. They have never interfered with Kenyan politics in any shape or form. You get? Now, when it comes to our current president has come out in so many ways to interfere with the military in ways of, recently he just took away their food and everything. And he has always been coming out to remind Kenyans that, I'm the commander-in-chief, I'm the nini, mimi ndo nilipatiwa, sijui sword, mimi ndo nilipatiwa nini, na siya kukata mboga. All these statements are not good for a commander. When you are powerful, you doesn't need to keep on reminding Kenyans. It will be seen. It will be seen in how you handle things and how you move around and how you nini. Even the people who are under you, who are now the army, once you handle things very well, they see that this one is someone who is sure of himself, nini. So Raila, by coming out to call to say that it doesn't look good on Ruto's presidency, because it shows like it's someone like the military still doesn't have faith, doesn't trust their commander-in-chief that well, or doesn't listen to him or anything, which I don't think is the case. But perspective, because perspective is everything. In politics, perspective is everything. So the kind of perspective that we are getting that about all this matter is that the Ruto as the commander-in-chief, as much as the commander-in-chief, but the perspective we are getting is totally different. So I feel like it wasn't right for Raila to say that statement, and it was very reckless of him. And I hoped that anyone would have called him out for that. That at the end of the day, Raila must understand that as much as you are powerful and you have got influence, but there are certain statements you don't make, because it doesn't look good on Kenya and even the person that you are working with in that broad-based agreement. Finally, if I'm going, let me finish with this story of the Gen Zs and everything. So for the Gen Zs demonstration, the truth of the matter is that thing was spontaneous. That thing was spontaneous. It wasn't sponsored by anybody. And that is why you see the government became so restless, trying to find out who is funding this thing. They they arrested so many people, and they end up releasing them after finding out these people don't know nothing about this thing. Anyone who was who kind of had influence on social media and kind of talked about people demonstrating and agitating for this thing, who was arrested. And after doing some grilling, they found out, huyu ana makosa, huyu ana nini. So it was kind of spontaneous, and I think the government was just caught on the wrong side. They did not plan, they did not anticipate this coming, and that is why they react. If they knew that this was going to come, they would plan it so well on how they are going to counter it. But right now, let's just nivile tu, governments never admits. If you understand politics and how governments operate, governments never admit for wrongdoing. They never do that. So never expect government to come out and say, yes, we are wrong, we are sorry. You know, the problem with most people in Kenya is they always think that the way they imagine that the ideal world should operate, they expect politics and politicians to operate like that. And government never apologizes. They always find excuses, because it always comes out as a sign of weakness. So the governments don't apologize anywhere in the world. So don't expect them to apologize. So as to whether this thing really died out and everything, I think I don't want to call it revolution, but there's a certain way that there's a certain anger that is still boiling in Kenyans, and somehow, in some way or form, they are going to exercise it again, because all the things they were agitating for, all the things that made these young people to come out in the street and demonstrate, none of them has been met. None of them has been met. In fact, the president promised that he's going to cut on the government spending and on the Nina. But look at what the appointment he has done recently. It just shows that this government has not learned anything and everything. And will there be a revolution coming? Yes, there'll be a revolution coming, maybe in one shape or form. I don't know how it's going to come out, but the truth of the matter is that the youth are still not happy, and they are still agitated. And that's why there's a deliberate effort to make sure that they divide this youth into tribal narrative. And that's why you see there's a tribal narrative being pushed so hard to make sure that this youth fall into these traps of tribe. They either fall into party tribes, or into party affiliations, or on tribal basis. There is a certain agenda of trying to make sure that watu wanaongea ukabila, the young people start speaking ukabila, because they realize that these people are so united and you cannot sell this tribal narrative to them. But now there's a deliberate attempt. So I just want you to listen to this audio from this guy, Ndura Warwinge. You listen to him speaking about all these things, and then I'll come back and wrap it up. So
Raila is our liberator, Ruto is our liberator. No, they want to pocket these young people into their pockets and then kill them, and kill the liberation. So what I'm calling upon the young people, this is a time to rise up. This is the time to call for difference. This is a time to call for the change of the nation. This is a time we need to erase the entire system and create a new system. This is your time. Liberate this nation. It is in your hands.
Yes. So you have listened to that guy. You have listened to that explanation that he has given as to all these Gen Zs, and whether it's coming back or not, the truth of the matter is that the youth are still not happy. The Gen Zs are still disappointed, and you can see they continue showing their frustration on the social media. So something will just trigger them, and they might just come out in the streets again. So I don't know how the government will handle this, but for me, I just feel like the government, for them to quench this anger that is everything, they just need to deliver. Anyway, guys, what do you think about all these issues, the Raila and the coup and the coup allegations and everything? What do you think? You can share your opinion and views in the comment section. And as I always say, try as much as possible to remain respectful. Do not insult anyone. Do not go overboard with your words. Remain respectful. Share your ideas, because we are here to learn from each other and we are here to share opinion. Thank you. Until next time. Bye-bye.